And you did that. That was just sort of a thing that you just did, or was it?
Yeah, we did that. I think it took us about 20 minutes, and we put it on the internet, and it just went fucking ballistic straight away. Those were the good old days before YouTube and all that shit.
But to go back to that idea that of trusting you, people. This is a film I think that can polarize audiences in a lot of ways. Do you hear back from people who are kind of mad at you at the end of this film because you've sort of taken them on this fucked up trip?
You know, yeah, but me too.
I mean, how much do you listen to what goes on the internet?
Oh, all day. All day long. I look at it, mesmerised. But it makes you ill, so I try to stop. But at the moment, right while the film's being released, it's just relentless kind of looking at it. But I come to the end of it now. It's only been going on a year, so I have to stop. I'm kind of stopping.
So you have some other stuff. You just finished Sightseers. You have a short that's going to be in ABCs of Death. This 26 short film compilation. Is there anything you can sort of tell us about that?
It's got Neil Maskell in it and Michael Smiley and Rob Hill from Down Terrace, and it's got axes and hammers and pliers and screaming.
Do you you started out in comedy? Do you want to get back into comedy? I mean, your two features. Down Terrace is actually really funny, but it's also really dark in a lot of ways. This is obviously exceptionally dark. Do you feel like you want to get back into doing more comedy?
Yeah, I mean the next film's a comedy, so it's kind of. And I did feel that I needed something a bit lighter after this. You know, felt a bit bad.
So it's a comedy road film?
Yeah.
What's the sort of the synopsis?
It's a couple, they don't really know each other that well, and they go on holiday together, and then the bloke murders other people.
So your definition of comedy is definitely a little bit more skewed.
I think that's funny. That makes me laugh.
And you're also working on a claymation project.
Yeah.
Is that the right word, claymation?
Yeah, we're putting that together, and it's called Mega Evil Motherfuckers. And it's about a mixed prison and the adventures with it.
And that's probably tasteful, right? I'm assuming?
Yeah, that's one more like kind of Bergman-esque project.
So when you're shooting some of the stuff in this film, especially some of the night stuff, some of that tunnel stuff, are you shooting on film? Are you shooting digital? What are you doing?
It's red. Yeah, I was on the red.
I mean, so Soderbergh said that people overlight the red. I mean, how do you approach lighting, especially in some of the night stuff in this? How did you approach lighting?
Well, it would be disingenuous to say I did it. Laurie Rose,
speaking for the crew.
Yeah,
sure.
Laurie Rose did it. And the thing is that this camera was the MX, which was the new version of the Red at the time. It was brand new, and it's very, very, very sensitive to light. So you can shoot it in the dark, and you can shoot in light that you can't see. And we were amazed by that camera. So all that nighttime stuff is lit by the lit by the burning torches. Pretty much, there's a couple of tiny bits of field light, but they're like little panel LED lights. They're not like big movie lights or anything. And then the tunnel stuff all lit by the lamps on their heads and the shotgun blasts. So yeah, it's a real game changer. You know, real eye opener. You can just shoot anywhere. Whatever you can see with your eye, you can shoot. So
the stuff that Kubrick worked so hard for in Barry Lyndon is just really easy now, sort of with the red. That natural lighting thing. Is it, or am I?
Yeah, that's what ruins it for me. Barry Lyndon with kid candles. What a loser.
Definitely overlooked them.
Someone should have told him.
So I guess you guys might have a couple of questions after. I don't know if your brains are working yet after that. But if anybody has any good, intelligent questions about the film that you just saw, any better than mine? Anybody? I can't see in the back row. So. Oh, right up here.
Can you tell us a little about shooting the tunnel scene?
Yeah, it was shooting the tunnel scene. Well, so it's probably about as long as from there to there, the tunnel. I'd storyboarded it a bit, but they were all in it all day long in this thing, and I was outside it. I didn't go inside it, and then kind of got them running up and down, and the naked people running up and down. Who were the gamest extras I've ever worked with. They really, really loved it. They cried themselves on their faces all over the place. It was
How
brilliant.
did you find people who were willing to stand around naked all
I
night?
tell you, it's easy. And we had some of the extras, the older extras, were upset when they had to wear clothes.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, go figure. And some of those guys were like interns as well. Just like, yeah, we'll do it. So, all power to their elbow. But so yeah, we shot it, and then at lunchtime I went upstairs and I cut it to see what I'd got, and then I re-storyboarded from that cut and went back downstairs while they had finished their meal, and we then picked up all the shots that I needed to make it work.
Nice.
And that was kind of it.
That guy's a big fan. Pretty dynamic. Right over there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Could you talk about the creation of the music and the conception of how the music would go?
Yeah, the music was, when we cut the thing, initially we laid in loads of ligeti, and I'm always worried I'm pronouncing that wrong. For years I called it legiti, but it is ligeti anyway, don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Feldman, and we put loads of that over it, but then we slowed it all down to like 2%, and we built the soundtrack out of this 2% super slow sound, and backwards. And then we got a load of hinges and screws and squeaks, metal squeaks and stuff, and we put that all in very, very slow. And we built this whole soundtrack out of that, and then we gave it to Jim Williams and said, something like that. Not being a musician, and then we said also, I said to him, I also find the female vocals in Schifrin's Dirty Harry really terrifying. Can we have some of that? And Jim went away and made the soundtrack from that. But also there's like a little the sound design that Mike Pavey did. We kind of, he saw some really terrifying sounds, and some of the tunnel stuff has got this sound. It's like, you know, like whale song. The whales talk to each other across the sea, but he found shark song. So it's like sharks singing to each other, and that I think calls to a part of our brain that, you know, the fish bit of our brain that can remember being worried about hearing that.
I think I'm worried about hearing that right now. I have no idea they sing.
Yeah, they sing not very well.
It's interesting. The people who haven't seen the film, sort of the easy touchstone is Wicker Man, and it's only the most surface thing. But it's interesting to me that there's this British pagan thing. You guys have this history that goes back so much farther than ours, in that you have pagan, nature worshippers in your lineage somewhere. It's so British. Can you trace them back to the Celts, or but is that particularly
Well, I trace
British?
my own bloodline.
Yes, your own bloodline.
No.
No.
We don't go past grandparents from our side. I don't know what happens. Probably came out of an egg or something.
But I mean, does that feel specifically British to you? That pagan cult thing? I mean,
I think what it is that it's interesting that sometimes you get this thing of the Wicker Man, and it's like they go, oh, it's referencing the Wicker Man, but the thing is that there is history before the Wicker Man, and things happened before, and they were real, not films, and you could feed from that rich pot of stuff, and so I did. I mean, a lot of the stuff was from dreams. The cold stuff was from dreams. Obviously, I can't deny that there's similarities with the way that the structure is made, in terms of the one guy finding that he's in a track built by a cult. That's Wicker Man. But it's also a parallax view, and it's also a Manchurian Candidate, which are probably more at the side because they're about hitmen who have been drawn into.
what's that paranoid thriller?
Yeah. But I don't think there's much similarity between the Summer Isle lot and our cult. But yeah.
Did you base your cult on anything? Did you do research, or is it for real, or is it all just dreams?
Yeah, the cult stuff, we kind of were careful not to make it like anything that was existing, because I'm not really
that keen on pissing on someone's religion. You know, no
Especially
matter.
with human sacrifice.
Well, no, but you know, it's like these are all legit religions. These things, you know, someone who believes in Wicca, you're not going to, and they turn up and go, what the fuck? What's that all about? What do we do to you? So this stuff is made up, and all the rituals are made up. It's all made up, and it's not meant to be like any existing religion. It's its own thing.